The Tesla Model Y has become one of the most talked about vehicles in the automotive world, not just in the electric vehicle segment but in the broader car market as a whole. Since its launch, it has skyrocketed in sales and recently achieved the status of being the best-selling car globally across all categories, not just EVs. This alone tells us that the Model Y has clearly struck a chord with consumers. But why is it so popular? Is it because it's genuinely the best car available, or is it the power of the Tesla brand, Elon Musk's influence, and the hype surrounding electric vehicles? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into every aspect of the Tesla Model Y, breaking down what makes it so attractive, where it struggles, and whether it truly deserves the spotlight it currently enjoys. Starting with the exterior design, the Tesla Model Y looks very familiar, because it shares a large portion of its DNA with the Tesla Model 3 sedan. In fact, you could call it a slightly taller, more spacious crossover version of the Model 3. The design language is clean, modern, and minimalist. It doesn't scream for attention like some of its competitors. There are no exaggerated creases or flashy grills, just a smooth, aerodynamic body that prioritizes efficiency. For some buyers, this understated look is perfect. It feels futuristic without being over-designed. For others, it comes across as a bit plain or even boring, especially when compared to bolder rivals like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 with its pixelated, retro-futuristic styling or the Ford Mustang Mach-E with its aggressive muscle car-inspired curves. The Model Y doesn't necessarily turn heads because of its styling, but its simplicity is part of Tesla's identity, and it has a subtle road presence that people associate with advanced technology. Once you step inside the Model Y, the philosophy of minimalism is taken to an extreme. Tesla interiors are unlike almost anything else on the market. Instead of rows of buttons, dials, and switches, you're greeted by an ultra-clean cabin dominated by a massive 15-inch central touchscreen. Nearly every function, from climate control and navigation to wiper settings and glovebox access, is controlled through this screen. The first time you experience it, it feels futuristic, almost like stepping into a spaceship. The large panoramic glass roof further enhances this futuristic feel, flooding the interior with light and making the cabin feel airy and spacious. For families and passengers, this sense of openness is a big plus, especially compared to more cramped compact crossovers. However, this design isn't without drawbacks. Some drivers feel overwhelmed by the reliance on the touchscreen, particularly when performing basic tasks that would be easier with a simple physical button. Build quality also continues to be a concern. While Tesla has improved significantly in recent years, some owners still report uneven panel gaps, misaligned trim, or rattles that can develop over time. These issues are not universal, but they do raise questions about consistency in manufacturing standards. On the comfort side, the Model Y does a solid job but isn't class-leading. The seats are comfortable for long drives, offering good support and an elevated driving position that gives better road visibility compared to the Model 3 sedan. Families will appreciate the spacious second row and the option for a third row, turning it into a 7-seater. That said, the third row is best suited for children and isn't particularly comfortable for adults. Cargo space is another strong point. With the rear seats folded down, you get a flat load floor and ample room for luggage, groceries, or sports equipment. Plus, because it's an EV, you also have extra storage in the front trunk, or frunk, which adds to its practicality. When it comes to driving dynamics, the Model Y continues Tesla's tradition of delivering a thrilling experience. Unlike many SUVs that feel heavy or sluggish, the Model Y feels nimble and responsive. Acceleration is instant thanks to the electric motors, and the performance is genuinely jaw-dropping if you opt for the performance model. 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds puts it in sports car territory, and even the long-range version delivers more speed than the average driver would ever need. Steering is precise, and handling is surprisingly sharp for a crossover, though the ride can feel a little stiff, especially on rough roads. This is one of the compromises Tesla makes to give the Model Y its sporty character. Drivers who prioritize comfort over sportiness might find the suspension firmer than they'd like, particularly on the larger wheels of the performance trim. One of the biggest selling points of any electric vehicle is range, and the Model Y does not disappoint. Depending on which version you choose, you can expect between 260 miles and 330 miles of driving range on a single charge. In real-world conditions, this often varies depending on weather, driving style, and speed, but it still puts Tesla at the top of the pack compared to many competitors. What really sets Tesla apart, however, is the charging experience. With exclusive access to the supercharger network, Tesla drivers can confidently take road trips across the US and beyond, knowing they will find reliable, fast charging stations along the way. This infrastructure advantage cannot be overstated. Other automakers are catching up by partnering with Tesla to allow their vehicles to use the supercharger network, but for now, Tesla owners enjoy the smoothest long-distance EV experience. Charging at home is also convenient if you install a Level 2 charger, allowing you to wake up every morning with a full tank. Public charging outside the Tesla network can be more hit or miss, with different payment systems and varying reliability, which highlights just how far ahead Tesla is in this area. Technology is another major factor in the Model Y's appeal. Tesla doesn't just build cars, they build rolling computers. Over-the-air software updates mean the car actually improves over time, gaining new features, bug fixes, and sometimes even performance enhancements. This concept is almost unheard of among traditional automakers, where your car generally remains the same from the day you buy it until the day you sell it. Tesla's autopilot system is another draw, offering advanced driver assistance that can handle highway driving, adaptive cruise control, and lane changes with minimal input. While autopilot makes long drives less stressful, it's important to remember that it is not full self-driving. Despite Tesla's branding, the system requires constant driver attention and hands on the wheel. The optional full self-driving package adds features like automatic lane changes, city street navigation, and traffic light recognition, but it's still in development and far from perfect. For many buyers, autopilot is more than enough, but others may feel Tesla is overselling the capabilities of its self-driving technology. Pricing is always a sticking point. The Model Y is not cheap, with prices starting around the mid-$40,000 mark and climbing well past $60,000 for the performance trim with options. For many households, that's a major financial decision. However, the ownership costs are lower than a gas-powered SUV. Electricity is generally cheaper than gasoline, maintenance costs are minimal since there are fewer moving parts, and there are no oil changes, spark plugs, or exhaust systems to worry about. Over the life of the vehicle, these savings add up significantly. Plus, depending on federal or state incentives, buyers may qualify for tax credits that further reduce the cost. When you calculate total cost of ownership, the Model Y becomes much more competitive than its sticker price suggests. Still, buyers who are focused on luxury might find that brands like Audi, BMW, or Mercedes offer more premium interiors and materials at similar prices. Real-world user experiences paint a picture of both strong satisfaction and some frustrations. Many Tesla Model Y owners praise the vehicle's performance, efficiency, and futuristic technology. They love the convenience of the supercharger network and the peace of mind of never having to stop at a gas station. Families appreciate the spacious interior and cargo capacity. On the flip side, some owners are critical of Tesla's customer service, which has been reported as inconsistent. Scheduling service can be difficult, parts can take a while to arrive, and communication with Tesla representatives isn't always smooth. In terms of quality, while some owners report flawless vehicles, others mention issues ranging from squeaky interiors to misaligned body panels. These are not deal-breakers for everyone, but they are part of the ownership reality. Compared to competitors, the Model Y stands in a very strong position. The Ford Mustang Mach-E offers more traditional styling cues and a more familiar interior layout, but it doesn't have Tesla's charging network. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6 deliver excellent range, bold designs, and more physical controls, but again, charging availability can be a weak spot. Volkswagen's ID.4 is a solid option with good practicality but lacks the speed and excitement of the Model Y. Where Tesla dominates is in its combination of range, performance, charging, and constant software improvements. Even when rivals come close in one area, Tesla tends to lead in another. That's why so many people continue to gravitate toward the Model Y despite the criticisms. At the end of the day, the Tesla Model Y is not a perfect car, but it is a very impressive one. Its success comes from delivering the core things that matter most to modern buyers: long range, fast charging, exhilarating performance, and cutting-edge technology. It's not the most luxurious, nor is it the most comfortable, and its reliance on a single touchscreen won't suit everyone. But for buyers who want to be part of the electric revolution and experience a car that feels like it's always evolving, the Model Y is a compelling choice. Its flaws are real, but its strengths are powerful enough that it remains one of the most practical and forward-thinking EVs available today. So, the question remains, is the Tesla Model Y truly worth it? For many people, the answer is yes. It may not be flawless, but it represents a significant step toward the future of driving. And whether you love Tesla or criticize it, there's no denying that the Model Y has left its mark as one of the most influential vehicles of our time.